So over the last week, Trump has been throwing every distraction he can at us. And I want to go through some of them to show you how desperate he's getting. Let's start with his go-to distraction. Obama!
The witch hunt that you should be talking about is they caught President Obama absolutely cold. They tried to steal the election. They tried to obfuscate the election. Irrefutable proof that Obama was seditious.
No, booze aside. Sedation?
As you know, this young man has been embroiled in the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking scandal and did what anybody who is innocent when facing an accusation of this type, did what anybody who was innocent would do. He fled the country. He fled the country, taking a jaunt to Bonio.
When Josh Johnson's quick-fire wit collides with Jon Stewart's legendary sarcasm, Donald Trump doesn't stand a snowball's chance in Mar-a-Lago. Together they dismantle his presidency like a discount. IKEA dresser, crooked, unstable, and missing half the instructions. From his policy trainwrecks to his ego-fueled tantrums, this comedic tag team turns Trump's second term into a roast so merciless. It should come with a warning label: no sugarcoating, no censorship, just precision strikes of punchlines and truth grenades. Strap in, because the masters of mockery have just given Trump the political pile drive of the century.
Tonight, Donald Trump is losing his mind and his hands. He's inventing new ways to do makeup wrong, and he has a dream that one day he will not be judged by the content of. But while we wait to see if Ghislaine survives this interview, Trump has been doing everything that he can to keep those files under wraps. He's even got his friends in Congress trying to help. Mike Johnson shut down the House just to avoid a vote on the release of the files. Yeah. Do you understand that they clear Congress out for the summer like they found a dookie in the pool?
He waltzed into the Oval Office like he was hosting a timeshare pitch, somehow convincing America to sign up for round two. Trump, the man who can declare bankruptcy, rack up indictments, and still throw himself a victory parade, is back. At the helm for Josh and John. Roasting him isn't even comedy anymore, it's civic duty. It's like making fun of a cartoon character who insists he's managing a nuclear plant. Spoiler alert, the core is melting and he's blaming the thermostat.
You spent 2 months riling up your base that our country had literally been stolen from them through fraudulent means, that you could never even get a whiff of in a court of law, and let yourself just abuse them. You pressed on, you abused their trust. You showed up for a speech, you tweeted, "Join me on January 6th. It will be wild." But suddenly now, I was just a hired magician, did a bar mitzvah. You spent 2 months riling up your base that our country had literally been stolen from them through fraudulent means, that you could never even get a whiff of in a court of law, and let yourself just abuse them. You pressed on, you abused their trust. You showed up for a speech, you tweeted, "Join me on January 6th. It will be wild." But suddenly now, I was just a hired magician, did a bar mitzvah. I didn't do anything. I showed up with a hat and a rabbit, and then the whole party went out of control. This man who...
Josh starts with Trump's approach to facts, treating them like optional toppings on a burger. He reads briefings the way most people read IKEA manuals, irritated, confused, and ready to improvise halfway through. Intelligence reports, too. Long, scientific consensus must be fake news. His policy-making is basically throwing darts at a map while blindfolded and high on praise. Frankly, it's a miracle the country isn't officially renamed Trumplandia and issuing school kids coloring books of him in superhero tights.
Need you to pull out of the World Health Organization. Then Trump was like, "Who?" And they were like, "Yes." And he was like, "Yes, what?" And they were like, "Who?" And he's like, Who? And they were like, "That's what we're saying. Who's who?" And then he was like, I'll do what you want me to do, but I just need to know who it is." And it's like...
Then John pounces on Trump's media addiction. The man can't function without a camera within arm's reach. Every speech is treated like open McNight, except with more lies and worse lighting. Stick a mirror on the teleprompter and he'd still brag about the crowd size. The press isn't his enemy, grammar is. Watching Trump talk is like trying to decode a fever dream with captions written by someone who flunked 5th grade English twice.
I understand the corporate fear. I understand the fear that you and your advertisers have with $8 billion at stake. But understand this, truly. The shows that you now seek to cancel, censor, and control, a not insignificant portion of that $8 billion value came from those shows. That's what made you that money.
Josh shifts to Trump's pandemic legacy, less leadership, more viral chaos. He spent more time trash-talking masks than tackling the virus. While hospitals begged for ventilators, he hoarded Sharpies and suggested cures straight out of a sci-fi horror film. Misunderstanding science is one thing, declaring war on soap is another. He turned a public health emergency into improv night. No jokes, plenty of casualties.
With people anymore. People got so mad during the pandemic about the vaccine that they switched it. They got it wrong. The vaccine is Trump's. It was distributed while he was still president. He was the one that had the idea of like streamlining it and trying to make them outbid each other to get a contract. That was all him. But everyone who takes the vaccine hates him too much to give him credit. And then his fans don't want it.
Jones not done. He moves on to Trump's economic chest thumping, which is like a kid showing off a macaroni necklace. Sure, the stock market had some highs. For billionaires with yachts and helipads, the middle class got tossed a tax, cut as flimsy as Trump's ethics, while the national debt ballooned like it was trying to escape. And when the economy soured, blame fell on anyone not white, wealthy, or holding a golf club. Josh dives into foreign policy, a highlight reel of awkward handshakes, dictator fan letters, and enough diplomatic damage to keep ambassadors in therapy. He swiped left on NATO, right on North Korea, and rolled back environmental protections, like a cartoon villain flipping through a property brochure.
Don't panic, okay? You've got a president who understands business.
I am grateful for a commander-in-chief that has the business acumen.
Luckily, we have a businessman in the White House right now.
The president did write the book, The Art of the Deal.
So Trump is a master negotiator, and he does know the art of the deal.
We're supposed to trust this guy because he wrote The Art of the Deal? You ever say, I got the book, Art of the Deal? Yeah, that's why we're supposed to trust him. You ever look at chapter 9 in Art of the Deal? It's about how smart Trump is about his casino in Atlantic City. Yeah, chapter 9. I built a casino in Atlantic City. I'm a business.
Trump could watch a glacier crumble and still blame immigrants with hair dryers. His eco-friendly idea was printing campaign flyers on paper, thicker than his grasp of climate science. Josh leans into Trump's relationship with truth, as stable as a Twitter server during one of his meltdowns. He lies so often fact-checkers should get combat pay. He'll contradict himself mid-sentence and call it strategy. Education under Trump? Funding slashed, schools ignored, student debt mocked. His vocabulary barely extends beyond nicknames and slogans. At this rate, kids will graduate fluent in hashtags and stick-figure cave art.
Because of all this, Trump has lost total control of the situation. Even his allies in Congress are turning on him.
In an effort to gain clarity, 3 Republicans joined Democrats on the House Oversight Committee to subpoena the Justice Department to give Congress all of the Epstein files.
This fight's coming no matter, this is here, I'm ready to take this vote. I think we should take this vote and move forward, move this country forward, and people deserve transparency.
Nancy Mace, damn! Trump is even losing.
Josh can't resist roasting Trump's online life. He tweeted like a teen discovering emojis and caffeine for the first time. His feed read like a ransom note written entirely in caps, no punctuation, no coherence, just ego and vendettas. If Shakespeare wrote in typos, he'd still sound more presidential. John goes after Trump's legal calendar, more court dates than soap opera episodes, and none ending well. Subpoenas are party invites in his world. Josh targets Trump's rallies, less political engagement, more cult talent show. Logic dies, hats multiply, and the crowd claps as if pausing might break the spell.
Trump took office and he immediately signed a wild amount of executive orders. They've been one-upping each other every presidency for a little while. Like I'm pretty sure Barack Obama signed more than Bush, and then Trump signed more than Obama, and then Biden signed more than Trump. But this was like astronomical. This was a whole lot, because basically Trump went ahead and signed executive orders that rolled back a lot of what Biden did, plus his own. All right. And he did some sweeping stuff, like he signed an executive order that began the steps for the U.S. to leave the World Health Organization. I did not do it.
John zooms in on Trump's race problem, which, to him, isn't a problem. Diversity means letting Kanye sit in on a meeting and butchering Spanish names for sport. Every racial issue becomes a loudspeaker for his ignorance, every solution. More tone-deaf than a kazoo solo at a funeral, he wields identity politics like a campaign prop. Josh hits his ego, the largest undocumented object in the US, big enough for its own zip code. Trump isn't leading, he's auditioning for a part he already has and still doesn't understand. John swings at his nepotism empire, where family ties aren't the exception. They're the business plan.
Thing Trump has wanted. From Qatari jet bribes to Epstein file secrecy to extorted media conglomerate protection money. I can't believe ABC paid that. That was so up.
Jared got Middle East peace like it was a group project. Ivanka drifted around like lobby decor. Don Jr. tried to matter from the shadow of Dad's ego. This wasn't governance. It was a live-action vanity brand with nukes. Josh finishes with Trump's Fox patriotism, wrapping himself in the flag like a cape, then using it to mop up criticism. His love for America is measured in applause and merch sales. Nationalism is bottled water in his hands, flavorless, overpriced, and empty. Sacrifice, that's for someone else. The only way he could shock anyone now is by admitting fault or spelling Constitution correctly.
Like, what did the man look like? And they over here taking notes and stuff, and he's like, he doesn't know what to say next because he didn't think this far. And that's how I feel like Trump must feel about Epstein, because it goes so deep. It's like he didn't think this far in the lies.
Just when the dust settles, Trump preps another press conference, mix ready, staff nervous. Teleprompter already regretting its career choice. Josh and John don't just dismantle the act. They remind everyone this isn't pure comedy, it's the tragic sitcom of a nation led by a man who won't stop performing even as the set burns. And with him still in charge, the next episode writes itself, typo, tantrum. And indictment at a time, the only way to promote literacy under Trump is slapping his name on a tower and filling it with coloring books, conspiracy signs, and gold busts of himself. John can't keep a straight face.
But every time a new Trump's never getting that comes up, the media is blown away when he actually does get it, without ever acknowledging that the no votes from Republicans are scripted to allow certain senators plausible deniability without putting any part of that agenda actually.
Trump doesn't want citizens, he wants spectators. Education only matters if it ends with a standing ovation and $50 souvenir coins in the lobby. Libraries, too quiet, too free, too full of correctly spelled words, he thrives in echo chambers, not study halls. Josh skewers the latest cabinet reshuffle. Another You're Fired reboot where loyalty trumps qualifications. At this point, the White House needs a revolving door and an HR team on permanent vacation. Positions are party favors, and when chaos erupts, Trump acts like a bystander with popcorn. John closes the roast. Trump doesn't govern, he distracts. Scandals get buried under louder scandals, still tweeting like a raccoon on energy drinks. Still dodging reality like a toddler in a spelling bee. It's not leadership, it's performance art on a diet of delusion and cheeseburgers. Trump thinks he's untouchable, but the roast never ends. Josh and John haven't just exposed the madness, they've lit it up and passed out marshmallows. And with the next press conference looming, this fire's just getting started.